took my credit card off because I found out that Towanda has been using my credit card to pay her phone bill.
My phone bill?
It's official. Towanda Braxton's name has just landed on the FBI's radar. Sources close to the Bureau's Atlanta field office say Towanda's recent bankruptcy case isn't being viewed as simple financial mismanagement anymore. It's now being treated as a potential case of bankruptcy fraud after new documents surfaced linking her to unreported income and property transfers. I remember when that leak first hit social media, everyone went wild. People were tagging Tamar Braxton, asking if she was the one who tipped off the feds. And honestly, the timing did look suspiciously convenient. One fan summed it up perfectly when they shared screenshots online saying, "Y'all need to stop thinking Tamar Braxton is crazy. Her sister Towanda listed her as a creditor. That wasn't a loan, that was a gift." That single post blew up overnight. By the next morning, federal investigators were already reviewing Towanda's 2019 Chapter 7 bankruptcy file, where she listed Tamar as owing her $35,000. Money Towanda claimed was a loan, but Tamar insisted was a gift. Now investigators are saying that just one incorrect line on a bankruptcy form could qualify as a false declaration, which is a federal crime under Section 18 U.S.C. 152. But here's where things really get wild. The warrant isn't just about her bank accounts. Insiders claim Towanda's decision to transfer her Georgia property into her husband's name might have been a move to hide assets from the bankruptcy trust. And here's the that same house was allegedly one Tamar helped pay the down payment on, something she actually reminded Towanda about on camera. During an old taping of Braxton Family Views, Tamar didn't hold back. "I know where you because I paid the down
You
payment."
live because I put down your down payment.
You sure did. Thank you so much for
And
that.
now that
Thank
you
you
got
so
this
much
little
for the gift.
accident, give me my money back. That was not a
Promise
gift.
to God. Yes, it was. But it's
No, you
okay.
didn't.
Fans now think that Tamar's line wasn't just sister shade, it was evidence. Because right after that episode aired, the FBI allegedly subpoenaed credit line records connected to that same address. And according to inside sources following the case, that's how the alleged phone bill fraud came to light. One fan put it bluntly online, "Towanda, you're so nasty. Paying 6 phone lines for 12 months, 4 years straight, plus a $35,000 home loan. Girl, I'd never speak to you again." At first, most people assumed fans were just being messy. But once details from the FBI's case surfaced, showing long-term recurring phone service charges under Tamar's name, everything started. What once looked like a harmless family feud may have actually been the paper trail of fraud. And what's even more shocking, this isn't Towanda's first run-in with the law. If you dig through her past, you'll find she was arrested back in 2005 for forgery and theft by receiving in Atlanta. The charges were later dropped, but clearly the FBI didn't forget. Now, the question tearing the fandom apart, did Tamar Braxton report her own? Because someone had to hand over those 2019 bank statements. And let's be real, the feds don't move without. When Tamar's name started trending again alongside the words FBI, fans couldn't help. Was this sibling or was Tamar just protecting? But before jumping to conclusions, there's more, especially how Towanda allegedly dragged Tamar and even Tony Braxton into her financial chaos without their. Right after Towanda's arrest hit the blogs, the streets started whispering one Tamar Braxton, and it wasn't random gossip. People noticed how the timeline lined up a little too. Just days before the federal audit allegedly hit Towanda, Tamar posted a string of now-deleted tweets that fans say sounded like she was fed up with her sister's lies. Back in 2019, TMZ confirmed Towanda owed Tamar $35,000, which Tamar called a loan, while Towanda claimed that single discrepancy has now become the centerpiece of the FBI's because if you list a family lift or misstate your loss, that's considered a false declaration under federal bankruptcy. And here's the part making it. Tamar allegedly provided proof of payment transfers when questioned by investors. According to a source close to the Braxton, Tamar's attorneys confirmed she had financial correspondence showing that the money was wired directly to Towanda's account for the home. So when Tamar snapped on saying, "I know where you live because I pay payment," that wasn't just petty reality, G. Turns out that line might have been evidence. And that's why. Towanda allegedly transferred Georgia home into her husband's after the filing. Because everyone knows don't play when you start moving acid case. That's how they charge people under the concealment of clause. But what really turned heads was a resurfaced clip from Braxton Family Values showing Tamar confronting Towanda about a cease and desist letter received. Tamar, "I know where you live because I payment. You've been stealing from me years." Shot back, "Girl, you can start with me."
She's
Stealing? and helping.
But what you steal?
I don't steal anything.
You don't?
What I stole?
You sold men.
Who's the man that I stole?
Tony's.
That line changed everything because after that episode aired, fans began connecting old rumors about Tamar sleeping with Tony's ex-husband, Carrie Lewis, and even Jermaine Dupri's father, Michael Malden. Suddenly, the Braxton sister drama wasn't just about debt. It became about betrayal, both financial and emotional. The same reality TV receipts that once made the family famous might now be used as federal evidence. One insider alleges that Tamar's team wasn't the one that reported her sister directly, but they did cooperate fully when questioned, giving over all the receipts the FBI asked for. Still, social media ain't buying the innocent witness narrative. A fan tweet, "Tomorrow is not perfect by far, but Towanda telling Tony to call the police and press charges is a little extreme." Even Tomorrow revealed point. The Braxtons only come together when the cameras off camera. It's
supposed to say anything. The only thing that brings us together is the cameras.
Reality TV and real life are now blurring into one big investigation. Every old episode, argument, and sarcastic "that was a gift" line could be evidence. The dark part isn't it's the betrayal. Fans think Tamar cooperated with the feds to protect herself before getting dragged in. An old rumor research. Towanda allegedly stole her mother's SSI chip, confirmed by Tony's former assistant Zoe in 2020. Plus, Towanda was arrested in 2005 for forgery, and now the FBI probe looks like a pattern, not a mistake. The Braxton family, once a symbol of sisterhood and R&B royalty, is now facing federal fraud and mistrust. Even Tony, usually the peacemaker, canceled on Towanda's event, showing how serious it's got.
Can't wait to
I won't
see
be
it.
able to be there. That's why I was calling you.
That made me very sad.
I know.
Fans said that moment between Tony and Towanda wasn't really about scheduling. It was about distance. Tony has been quietly stepping back. And honestly, who can blame her? When the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit starts circling your family, the last thing you want is your own accounts caught up in the mess. And that's exactly what fans think she's doing, protecting her name and her money. But what hit hardest wasn't the silence itself. It was how strategic that silence has become. Trina, who used to flood social media with family selfies and sisterhood hashtags, hasn't posted a single. No family throwbacks, no repost, not even a comment when the news. That quiet? It said everything. Meanwhile, the internet's been doing what it does best, connecting dots that feel way too close. One fan, so Tony thinks it's okay to help family even when they're stealing 6 phone lines for 4 years, and that's from the same person who didn't want to pay her sisters to sing back. See, that's the Braxton brand was built on loyalty and image, not. But every time they try to stand together, it's the money that tears them. From Tamar's public mental health to Tony's tax liens, to Tracy's heartbreaking past. It's like every time the cameras stop, that's when the real story. And even though Towanda has been quiet online since the news of the investigation, the court filings are saying, according to public records, she listed $277,000 in assets but $547,000 in liabilities, including a $50,000 she was allegedly still driving on. One fan summed it up. If you've only got $150 in, you shouldn't be driving a $50,000 Tesla. Something's not. Now that the feds are combing through everything, from phone bills to property deeds, insiders say Towanda could be facing up to 5 years in prison if she's found guilty of falsifying financial disclosure. And while Tamar's camp hasn't officially commented, fans think the silent. Sometimes you don't need to. The truth speaks. That alone sent the internet in z. Because if it turns out that Tamar quietly gave the FBI the evidence they needed, this could go down as one of the biggest family betrayals in reality TV. But just when people thought the story couldn't get any, there came one that ties together Tony's silence, Towanda's husband, and a trail of offshore transfers now being looked at as part of a multi-year scheme. When news first broke that the FBI had allegedly frozen Towanda's account, everyone assumed the end of it. But apparently that was beginning. According to insiders, investigators discovered that a chunk of her skincare company's revenue had been funneled through a consulting firm registered under her name, the same man who now legally owns their. What they likely thought would protect their assets backfired. Big time. Federal prosecutors are now treating that move as a possible intent to conceal assets, something the feds take seriously. And here's darker. People close to Toni Braxton's team allegedly claim that Tony quietly pulled her name from all joint Braxton family business venture ago. Meanwhile, Tamar hasn't said much. But fans noticed one thing that volumes. Those old photos from Towanda's Bridgerton-themed bridal shower started making again. Neither Tony nor Tamar was there, and that, more than any tweet or statement, told everyone exactly where things stand now.
Tony said she was going to do the bridal shower. She's not doing the bridal shower. Somebody else is making sure everything is right for the bridal shower. I mean, I just thought that everybody would be, you know what I'm saying, happy and excited and wanting to be a part of it and want to be involved, but I'm not getting any of that, and that makes me sad.
Yeah.
At the time, most people brushed it off as typical Braxton sister drama, but looking back, it feels like Tony and Tamar were already starting to distance themselves. And now we might finally know why. Apparently, that was right around the time the IRS issued a back tax warning connected to Towanda's household account, a move that quietly triggered the first wave of federal scrutiny. And honestly, when you think about it, it all lines up. Remember when fans used to say, the only time the Braxtons come together is when the cameras are rolling? Well, that's never felt more true than it does right now. The Braxtons, once the picture of sisterhood, strength, and R&B royalty, are now tangled in a storm of betrayal, federal fraud, and online chaos. According to insiders close to the situation, Towanda's next court could be a big one. Word is prosecutors might offer her a plea, but only if she agrees to cooperate and provide information about anyone else who may have benefited from the alleged fraudulent filing. Translation? If Tamar's money or Tony's assets show up anywhere in those accounts, this could explode into something much bigger. Towanda, for her, is reportedly denying everything, but at this point, her silence doesn't sound like it sounds like strat, and that's when it really. This isn't just about money, it's about legacy. The Braxtons were once celebrated as America's most admired R&B family, 6 talented sisters who sang about love, faith, and unity. But now, the very thing that made them shine, their shared might be the thing that tears them apart. And the sad, it might not even be open. Insiders claim the FBI's case file includes references to multiple family-linked financial accounts still under. That means Tamar and Tony could be next in line for questioning if their names appear anywhere in those docs. If that happens, the Braxton name may never. It's the kind of downfall no reality show. A family empire built on talent, torn apart by money and finished by